My friends, today we explore the powerful truth that what you seek is seeking you. When you desire to align your life with God's purpose, you set yourself on a path where what you're looking for is also looking for you. This is not a coincidence, but a divine design. God has placed within each of us a purpose, and as we search, God draws us ever closer to that purpose. Our job is to align ourselves with Him and discover the reason we were created. Before we were born, we were designed with purpose. You are not an accident. You were intentionally crafted with a specific role in God's grand plan. This purpose is woven into your very being, into your talents, your dreams, and even your challenges. To align with God's purpose means to look at life not just for what you want, but for what you were meant to accomplish. When you understand that your purpose is part of a greater design, your life gains new meaning. Those deep desires, the ones that stir you in the quiet moments, are not random. They're often God's way of guiding you. Think of them as clues that point you towards your purpose. The reason these desires keep coming back is that they were planted in your heart by God. Seek these desires earnestly, and you'll find that they are God's whisper guiding you to what you seek. Alignment with purpose begins with seeking God first. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to chase what others call success. But when you put God first, He brings clarity and focus. In His presence, you can distinguish between what is just noise and what is true purpose. God's voice clears away the clutter so that the path to your purpose becomes visible. Sometimes we look at our current situation and think it's too small or insignificant. But let me remind you, God often starts us in small things to prepare us for greater ones. Faithfulness in little things opens the door to larger assignments. If you are diligent and faithful where you are, God will promote you step by step into the fullness of your purpose. God will open doors that align with your purpose. When you align with Him, opportunities will appear that you never expected. These open doors are invitations from God to step closer to your destiny. They are not coincidences, they are moments where heaven and earth meet. Walk through these doors with courage, knowing that God has aligned them with your path. Purposeful living does not mean a life without challenges. In fact, challenges are God's tools to refine you, strengthen you, and build your character. These obstacles are not barriers, but stepping stones that prepare you for the responsibilities of your purpose. As you overcome, you become more capable of handling the weight of the blessings that come with your calling. In a world that often pushes for speed, God reminds us to trust His timing. Rushing can lead us down paths not meant for us, while patience allows God to prepare us fully. There is no substitute for divine timing, for when we enter our purpose at the appointed time, we enter with full strength, fully equipped. Trust His timing and know that God's clock is never early or late. Finally, remember this: when you walk in your purpose, you won't walk alone. Purpose attracts the right people. God will place people in your life who will support, encourage, and help you along the way. As you align with God, you'll find that the right people will be drawn to you. You'll be united with those who are on a similar journey, a divine community that helps you accomplish what you were made for. Every life has an inherent purpose, a divine design crafted by God Himself. Long before we drew our first breath, God envisioned a unique role and mission for each of us. This purpose is not an afterthought, nor is it shaped by the circumstances or limitations we encounter. Rather, it is an intentional part of the very essence of who we are. Just as a craftsman designs each tool with a specific function in mind, so too has God shaped each of us for a particular role in His grand plan. Our gifts, passions, and even our struggles are elements of this intricate design meant to prepare us and equip us for what He has called us to do. This divine design is not only about what we do, but also about who we become. It means we are invited into a journey of growth and transformation, where each experience, each relationship, and each season of life plays a part in revealing more of that purpose. The search for purpose then becomes a sacred quest to understand why God placed us here and how we fit into His larger picture. In God's eyes, purpose is woven into our spirit, and it waits patiently, calling to us from within. It isn't something that needs to be created. Rather, it's something we must uncover step by step by aligning our hearts with God's intentions. Knowing we are designed with purpose reshapes our approach to life. We realize that we are not simply going through motions or facing random events. Instead, we see that each moment is part of a process, drawing us closer to fulfilling the role for which we were made. God, in His wisdom, has embedded this purpose deep within us, ready to unfold as we surrender to His guidance. Embracing this truth brings a profound sense of responsibility and gratitude. It reminds us that we are uniquely necessary and unrepeatable, crafted for a life that will reflect God's glory in a way only we can. The deep desires within our hearts are not mere whims or passing thoughts. They are often whispers from God, signaling the direction in which He wants us to go. These desires are more than simple wishes. They are intentional and purposeful, placed within us to draw us toward our true calling. When we feel stirred by a vision or ignited by a dream that seems almost out of reach, we must understand that these desires are not random. They are planted by God as clues to guide us on our path. God knows how to communicate with us in ways that resonate deeply, and often this communication happens through the desires we can't seem to shake. They are like a divine compass pointing us towards something greater than ourselves. These desires are crafted specifically to fit the gifts, talents, and strengths that God has placed within us. They challenge us to grow, to push past our comfort zones, and to envision a life that aligns with God's purpose. In pursuing these desires, we are not only fulfilling our own dreams, but also playing our part in a bigger, divinely orchestrated plan. When we recognize that these desires are God's clues, we begin to pursue them with a renewed sense of responsibility and focus. We start to see that following these passions is not selfish or self-indulgent. It is, in fact, an act of obedience. These desires may lead us to opportunities we could never have imagined on our own. And they often bring us closer to people and situations that further reveal God's plan for our lives. It is in following these clues with faith and courage that we discover more about ourselves and about the unique impact we are meant to have in the world. Desires planted by God have a unique persistence. They may arise during quiet moments or appear as recurring themes throughout all our lives. They are not fleeting. They endure and grow even when life seems to pull us in different directions. These desires become a reminder that God is constantly working within us, inviting us to align our lives with His purpose. Embracing them is not just about achieving personal satisfaction. It's about stepping into the destiny that God has prepared for us. In a world filled with countless voices and distractions, the pursuit of clarity can feel elusive. We often find ourselves pulled in multiple directions, trying to meet expectations, pursue success, and define ourselves by worldly standards. Yet, in the midst of this, there is a timeless truth. When we seek God first, He brings clarity to every aspect of our lives. Aligning our hearts and minds with God is not just a step toward peace, it is the key to understanding our path and purpose. When we make God our priority, He shifts our perspective, allowing us to see beyond the immediate concerns and focus on the journey He has laid out for us. Seeking God first means making a conscious choice to put His will above our own desires, to quiet the noise around us, and to listen for His voice. This act of surrender creates space for God to speak into our lives, offering wisdom, guidance, and assurance. As we draw closer to Him, He replaces confusion with confidence and uncertainty with a sense of direction. The closer we get to God, the more we are able to discern between what is merely good and what is truly God's best for us. He reveals the true nature of our motives, sheds light on our blind spots, and redirects us when we are tempted to stray off course. When we put God first, we begin to see our lives through His eyes. This divine perspective allows us to recognize which pursuits align with our purpose and which are distractions. By prioritizing God, we are not sacrificing our dreams, rather we are allowing Him to shape them into something that has eternal value. The more we seek Him, the clearer our vision becomes, as His wisdom helps us navigate life's complexities and make choices that bring us closer to our purpose. This clarity also brings peace, for in seeking God, we learn to trust His timing, His methods, and His provisions. We are no longer tossed around by uncertainty or anxiety because we know that God is guiding our steps. When we seek Him first, we align ourselves with His truth. And His truth becomes a light that dispels doubt, giving us courage to pursue our calling without hesitation. Seeking God first is not a one-time event, but a daily commitment, a continual process of drawing near, listening, and allowing Him to lead. As we do this, we find that what seemed complex becomes simple. What was hidden is revealed, and we are empowered to walk confidently on the path God has designed specifically for us. It's easy to overlook the small things in life, to view them as insignificant or merely stepping stones on the way to something greater. Yet, in God's eyes, every moment, every task, and every responsibility carries meaning and purpose. Faithfulness in these seemingly small things is what unlocks the door to greater purpose. God often tests our character and prepares us for more through the ordinary, the mundane, and the humble. When we are faithful with the little that is entrusted to us, we prove ourselves ready for greater responsibilities and blessings. Faithfulness is about commitment, integrity, and excellence regardless of the size of the task. It means showing up fully even when no one else notices. It's in these moments where there is no applause, no recognition, and no promise of reward that our true character is formed. By being faithful in these smaller matters, we demonstrate to God that our dedication to Him is genuine. We are saying, Lord, I am committed to serving you wholeheartedly, no matter how small or large the task. This faithfulness speaks louder than words and shows God that we are prepared for what He wants to entrust to us next. The Bible is filled with stories of individuals who were faithful in small things and were eventually entrusted with significant roles. Joseph was faithful as a servant and a prisoner before he became a leader in Egypt. David was diligent as a shepherd, caring for his father's sheep before he was anointed king. These men did not despise their small beginnings, but saw them as opportunities to honor God, and through that faithfulness, they were promoted to fulfill their greater purposes. Faithfulness in small things is like training. It equips us to handle the weight of bigger responsibilities without losing our integrity or our focus. Moreover, these small acts of faithfulness are never insignificant in God's kingdom. Every small task completed with a heart of service impacts the larger picture in ways we may never fully see. God uses our faithfulness to inspire others, to build character, and to further His work on earth. It's in these moments that He molds us, teaching us patience, humility, and resilience. And as we prove faithful in the little, He prepares us for greater works that require the same qualities on a larger scale. Being faithful in small things ultimately aligns our hearts with God's. It allows us to be trusted with His vision, His resources, and His influence. God knows that if we are dependable with the little, we will handle greater blessings and responsibilities with the same faithfulness. So let us remember, there is no task too small in the kingdom of God. Every small thing we do with love, integrity, and dedication is an investment in the purpose God has for us. When we are faithful in the little, God promises to increase and multiply, leading us to the greater purpose He has designed. Opportunities are not just random events or lucky breaks. They are often divine invitations from God, strategically placed in our lives to move us closer to our purpose. When we see opportunities as invitations from God, we begin to approach them with a sense of reverence, wisdom, and courage. God, in His infinite wisdom, places certain opportunities along our path, opening doors that are meant to elevate us, challenge us, and sometimes even test us. These moments are not accidental. They are orchestrated by God as part of a larger plan, crafted to align us with the calling He has placed on our lives. Each opportunity carries the potential to be a stepping stone to something greater, a chance for us to grow, learn, and exercise our faith. God may bring us opportunities that look small or humble, but hidden within them is the power to transform our lives. Sometimes opportunities arrive disguised as challenges or responsibilities that seem beyond our current capacity. These moments are divine tests, calling us to step out in faith, to trust in God's provision, and to walk through doors that might feel intimidating. When we accept these invitations with humility and boldness, we open ourselves to the growth and transformation that God desires for us. Opportunities from God often come at unexpected times, demanding readiness and a heart that is attuned to His voice. This is why it's so important to cultivate a spirit of discernment to recognize when a door is from God and not just a distraction. Not every open door is divinely orchestrated, but when God invites us to step forward, He does so with purpose and intention. These invitations may stretch us, calling us to let go of fear, step out of our comfort zone, and trust in God's timing. When we respond in faith, we discover that God has already equipped us with what we need to walk through that door. Divine opportunities are often more about alignment than achievement. God uses these invitations to place us in the right environment with the right people and at the right time. Through these moments, He connects us to others who may be part of our journey or who need the gifts and talents He has placed within us. By embracing each opportunity, we allow God to work through us, impacting lives and advancing His kingdom in ways we could never have orchestrated on our own. When we see opportunities as invitations from God, we shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. We begin to understand that God's resources, connections, and timing are unlimited. Instead of fearing that an opportunity might be our only chance, we trust that God will continue to provide exactly what we need. Each opportunity is an invitation to trust Him more deeply, to lean into His guidance, and to walk confidently, knowing that He has gone before us and prepared the way. When we accept these invitations, we are not just stepping into new possibilities, but into a deeper relationship with God, allowing Him to lead us into the purpose for which we were created. Challenges are not obstacles to deter us, but rather instruments God uses to build and refine our character. When we face trials, setbacks, and hardships, they may seem overwhelming or even unfair, yet they are often precisely what God uses to shape us for the roles He has planned. Through each challenge, he molds our patience, strengthens our resilience, and teaches us to rely not on our own understanding, but on his wisdom and strength. These moments are opportunities to grow in ways that smooth out our rough edges, enabling us to become who he intended us to be. Each challenge we face brings with it lessons that cannot be learned in comfort. In hardship, we discover new depths of courage and inner strength that we might have never known if life had been easy. God uses difficulties to sharpen our faith, to reveal what we truly believe, and to expose areas where we need to grow. When we respond to these challenges with trust and perseverance, we develop a depth of character that not only glorifies God, but also prepares us to handle the blessings and responsibilities that come with fulfilling our purpose. Challenges also refine our perspective, helping us to see life through God's eyes. In the midst of struggle, we are often brought back to what truly matters. Our priorities shift as we let go of superficial concerns and focus on the values and goals that align with God's will. This clarity allows us to make choices that are not based on comfort or convenience, but on conviction and obedience. Challenges therefore become the catalyst that realign us with the vision and purpose God has for our lives, freeing us from distractions and unnecessary attachments. Moreover, as our character is strengthened, so too is our ability to impact those around us. Our struggles allow us to empathize with others, to encourage them from a place of genuine understanding and to serve as living testimonies of God's faithfulness. Through our own trials, we gain a wisdom that becomes invaluable not only for our own journey, but also for those who are watching us. God uses our challenges to shape us into people who can inspire, lead, and make a lasting difference in the lives of others. In facing challenges, we also learn to lean fully on God's grace. We realize that we cannot conquer every obstacle alone and that our own strength has limits. It is in these moments of surrender that we experience God's power most profoundly as he works in and through us to overcome what we thought impossible. Challenges then are more than tests. They are the training ground where God prepares us for the purpose he has set before us. Through them, our character is transformed, our faith is deepened, and our trust in him becomes unshakable. In a world that often pushes us to rush, strive, and seize every moment, it's easy to feel impatient or frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we expect. Yet God's timing is always perfect, orchestrated with a wisdom that far exceeds our own understanding. When we surrender to his timeline, we recognize that he is not withholding anything from us, but instead arranging the details of our lives with precision and purpose. Divine timing is not about delay, it's about preparation. Every moment we wait is an opportunity for God to work within us, shaping us and aligning us with his plan, so that when the right time comes, we are fully equipped to receive his blessings. God knows the bigger picture of our lives. He sees what we cannot see and understands what we do not understand. He knows the ideal time for each blessing, each breakthrough, and each opportunity to come to fruition. If we receive things prematurely, we may not be ready to handle them, or we might miss the full impact they are meant to have. God's timing ensures that every blessing and every open door will come at the exact moment when it will lead to the greatest growth, impact, and fulfillment. During the waiting season, God often uses the time to deepen our faith and trust in him. We are taught patience, resilience, and reliance on his promises rather than on our immediate circumstances. Divine timing encourages us to trust that God's plans are good, even when they seem slow to unfold. As we wait, we learn to let go of our need for control, surrendering our desires and trusting that God's way is better. In doing so, we experience peace, knowing that he is working all things for our ultimate good. Waiting on God's timing also aligns us with his will. When we pause and allow God to set the pace, we are less likely to take impulsive actions or to follow paths that lead us away from his purpose. Instead, we learn to discern his voice and to move in step with his spirit. Each delay becomes a divine protection, keeping us on the path that will bring the greatest joy and fulfillment. By trusting in God's timing, we are freed from the anxiety of trying to control outcomes and are able to rest in his perfect plan. When God's timing finally brings about what we have hoped for, it carries a sense of peace and completion. We realize that his timing was never a setback, but a setup for the fullness of what he intended for us. In that moment, we see how he has woven together each season, every waiting period, every closed door, and every answered prayer into a beautiful masterpiece. Divine timing reminds us that we serve a God who is not only all-knowing, but also perfectly loving, who withholds nothing good from us, and who works everything in our lives with unmatched purpose and timing. Purpose is not only a deeply personal calling, it's a powerful force that unites and connects. When you are aligned with your true purpose, you find that it draws people to you in ways that transcend coincidence or chance. Purpose acts like a magnet, attracting others who resonate with your journey, your values, and your vision. God often orchestrates connections that support, enhance, and multiply the work He has designed you to accomplish. The people you meet along the way are not there by accident. They are divinely positioned to be part of your journey, just as you are meant to be part of theirs. When you pursue your purpose, you become a vessel of inspiration, drawing others who are also seeking clarity, hope, and meaning. In fulfilling what God has placed in your heart, you become a beacon for those who are either on a similar path or who are drawn to the qualities that your purpose brings forth. This is a dynamic that is much larger than just one person's goals or aspirations. It's a part of God's grander design to connect lives and to build communities that support each other. Your purpose does not exist in isolation. It is interwoven with the lives of others, creating a tapestry of divine relationships and connections that bring meaning and mutual growth. As you walk in purpose, you not only attract those who will encourage and support you, but you also encounter people whom you are uniquely equipped to help. God places people in your life who need what you have to offer, be it a word of encouragement, a shared experience, or even practical help. In fulfilling your purpose, you become a source of blessing, strength, and guidance to others, helping them discover or strengthen their own sense of purpose. Through this, you're part of a reciprocal process where both you and those around you are uplifted and empowered. Purpose-driven relationships are built on shared values, mutual respect, and a common vision for something greater. When people are drawn together by purpose, their bond is strengthened by a deeper sense of meaning and commitment, forming relationships that are resilient and lasting. These connections are different from casual friendships or temporary alliances. They are partnerships in the truest sense, created to achieve something that neither party could accomplish alone. God knows exactly who we need on our journey, and He brings the right people into our lives at the right time to support, guide, and collaborate with us. Purpose is not only a deeply personal calling, it's a powerful force that unites and connects. When you are aligned with your true purpose, you find that it draws people to you in ways that transcend coincidence or chance. Purpose acts like a magnet, attracting others who resonate with your journey, your values, and your vision. God often orchestrates connections that support, enhance, and multiply the work He has designed you to accomplish. The people you meet along the way are not there by accident. They are divinely positioned to be part of your journey, just as you are meant to be part of theirs. When you pursue your purpose, you become a vessel of inspiration, drawing others who are also seeking clarity, hope, and meaning. In fulfilling what God has placed in your heart, you become a beacon for those who are either on a similar path or who are drawn to the qualities that your purpose brings forth. This is a dynamic that is much larger than just one person's goals or aspirations. It's a part of God's grander design to connect lives and to build communities that support each other. Your purpose does not exist in isolation. It is interwoven with the lives of others, creating a tapestry of divine relationships and connections that bring meaning and mutual growth. As you walk in purpose, you not only attract those who will encourage and support you, but you also encounter people whom you are uniquely equipped to help. God places people in your life who need what you have to offer, be it a word of encouragement, a shared experience, or even practical help. In fulfilling your purpose, you become a source of blessing, strength, and guidance to others, helping them discover or strengthen their own sense of purpose. Through this, you're part of a reciprocal process where both you and those around you are uplifted and empowered. Purpose-driven relationships are built on shared values, mutual respect, and a common vision for something greater. When people are drawn together by purpose, their bond is strengthened by a deeper sense of meaning and commitment, forming relationships that are resilient and lasting. These connections are different from casual friendships or temporary alliances. They are partnerships in the truest sense, created to achieve something that neither party could accomplish alone. God knows exactly who we need on our journey, and He brings the right people into our lives at the right time to support, guide, and collaborate with us.